You're being watched. Yeah, you're being watched right now. This is Daddy Shankito, okay? And I wanted to just make this quick, take the time out to make this quick message as just a reminder. We all need reminders, you know. And this is more of a reminder to myself than anybody else. I want to state that first and foremost, okay? But you're being watched. Hate to break it to you, okay? And I'm not referring to what one would typically kind of presume about what that means as far as like technology, your phone, however, and whatever else. Satellite spies with lasers that can hear you whisper from space and whatever the fuck else. Strips of flat like material that take pictures and don't have no lens. I'm talking about all that shit. Yes, we all know that. Okay. What are you gonna do about that? Okay. So let's move that off the table. When I say you're being watched, there's something watching you all the time. Every breath you take, every move you make. It's almost as if it's writing down everything. It's hearing you say. But more importantly, it speaks action needs. Watch. It speaks what you do. Some of you, I feel, I've been kind of lightweight obsessed with time. Specifically, how long, something's going to take for you. Whether that be a spiritual process, a journey, how long it takes to manifest something, when you're going to meet that new relationship, could be just all around life shit, when's my life going to be better, you know. But let me digress a second when I said you're being watched, because you are. You're watching you. And I'm not just talking about the you that is hearing my voice right now. Being wherever you're being, doing whatever you're doing right now. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the you that just always watches. Actually, you got several different entities, if you will, watching you. You. And you got your higher aspect, your higher self, your divine self, whatever you want to call it. These are the aspects of you that that make shit go. You know, these are the aspects of you that really. Oh, not to mention, I'm sorry, I forgot. Your subconscious mind also. And your subconscious mind specifically is this metaphysical on one level. It's a metaphysical catalyst that just makes shit happen. No man know the day or the time. You know what I'm saying? And it's something, man. It really is fucking something. You know, but that's watching you too. So when we say that we're gonna either do something or when we proclaim ourselves to be something, I think it's important that we take the time to stop and ask ourselves: is my actions coming from that, or is there a lack of action? Am I not doing shit, or am I doing something that is totally opposite? Quick examples: if you are wanting to be prosperous, do you still act like you're broke and poor? You still have that little tiny annoying, fearful, little nagging feeling. You know which one. Like, you might be about to lose something. Don't spend that money. Don't buy the cheap one. Do you forego Like, for example, if you really wanted something and you had the money, it's just about you kind of being cheap with yourself. If you were wealthy and prosperous, wouldn't you just get it? And I'm not saying to go do frivolous shit. I'm saying strategic, calculated shit. I want that shirt. Or do you want that dress or them shoes or whatever? You know, there's a definite time and a place for that. If you want the name brand soda and don't get the generic shit, get the name brand soda. You know, I'm talking even in something as small as that. If you want a relationship, you know, how do you imagine? How do you? What's this person like? What's this you like in that relationship? You probably see yourself as, oh, you know, feeling lighter. Probably imagine yourself happier. This person puts this electric tingle all in your belly, whatever, in your chest, in your cheeks. So whatever. Okay. No, but is this? But are your actions saying something else? Are you being needy as fuck doing shit? Are you doing? Are you scraping bottom of the barrel shit? Hmm. I mean, maybe not, but we may be also acting in ways, and it's like, what, you know how, like, remember what back in the day, what would Jesus do? WWJD. Well, WWYD. What the no. WTFWYD. What the fuck would you do? And I mean your ideal you. Or I'll even say this, who you really fucking are. You just haven't come into that experience yet. For many factors, you know. And also through the illusion of time, some things do seem to just take their own time. And many of you, I feel, and these are just two, those are very mundane examples, could be something in your spiritual journey. Maybe you want to, I mean, I'm just naming off just examples. Maybe you want to raise your kundalini and have it, you know, fucking ejaculating out your third eye or something, but it's just not happening for you. You can't even fucking meditate for 2 minutes, let alone try and raise no goddamn kundalini, you know, or something, or maybe not. I mean, fuck, I don't know. It's whatever it is for you. Okay, from the petty to the powerful, whatever it is for you. Doesn't matter if it's petty. Doesn't matter if it's just some deep, powerful, spiritual shit. Whatever. All points in between. Does not matter. If it's important to you, it's important to you for your reason, and that's fucking enough. The other thing that you are paying very careful attention to is what you say. And I'm not talking about externally, outwardly. If you added up all the times you affirm something for yourself in whatever way that you do, and not just you, all of us at one time, maybe now, maybe before, whatever, but the verbiage going on in your head that you can't even hear, that you're probably not aware of. A lot of times we're not aware of it because it's like ingrained background noise. You know, we may feel weird for a second if it wasn't there. You know, but the point is, most of us got some type of bullshit on loop, and that's just a fact. You know what I mean? That's just a fact. That's a part of having this human experience, straight up. Unless you fucking raised on some fucking island, you know, like Arnold Schwarzenegger was in Twins or some shit, you know, you got it. You got your own. So, you know, I mean, it's just, it is what it is. But my point is, for those of you especially who are obsessed with time, if you can just, first of all, breathe, let go, let the fuck go, and start, even in the beginning, if you just started acting with intent, I want my actions to, you know, align with who and what I know I truly am, or whatever the case is. Okay. If you did that and stopped focusing on time, the time aspect, took your fucking focus off of it, and just put your focus on to paying attention when questioning yourself a lot. And for some of you, it might get exhausting, and it can be exhausting, but it's necessary. You know what I mean? Exercise is fucking exhausting, you know. But if people want certain results, that's got to be the price they pay. That's got to be their sacrifice. But like I said, everything is this. What WTF WYD? What the fuck would you do? And I say you, I'm referring to that other version of yourself, that greater version of yourself. It's still you. They're still you. You're still them, and that's it. What is it going to be? But what I wanted to say was, and encourage you, and however you do this, but if you concentrate more on that and like question yourself, hey man, am I acting like a broke? I never even noticed I did that shit. I've had plenty of those moments when I started paying attention. Every time I shift to another, I don't even want to say level, but for lack of a better word, I'm just going to say that. But you understand what I'm saying. It's not necessarily a level. It's just a different, I don't know, paradigm or something. But I was starting noticing a bunch of little things, and these things, and like I said, we all got that bullshit on loop that you can't hear it. But once you start paying attention, now you can start to hear it. And once you start to hear it, now you can start to question it. And that's when it just all, that's when it all fades away. But my point is, if you gave up your fear of losing time, running out of time, it's going to take too long, which is another thing of just like, oh, fuck it. I know why would I be afraid no matter how long it took unless I knew I was going to give up after a certain amount of time. So I'm like, oh, that's going to take too long. I know I ain't going to stick with it. Or I know I'm not going to be that congruent for that long. But when you're living it, you're just congruent. So that's what it comes down to, is you're just not living it. However you can, in whatever form, even in the smallest way. Consistency, honoring yourself, loving the fuck out of yourself enough to be disciplined for yourself, acting like somebody's watching because somebody is watching. You're watching, and that means more than anything. That means more than anybody watching you. Fuck everybody. Does that make sense? So I just wanted to remind you that. Because it's an actual factual truth, and a lot of times I'm convinced that any type of change, any type of transformation, most of the time, within reason, of course, obviously you're not gonna be 600 pounds and then the next day, be 180 pounds, 7% fat. It's just, that's not going to work. That transformation will take some fucking time, But a lot of, especially ones that start on the inside too, the inner ones, I'm saying also, can be instantaneous. It's just that we might have took 8 years or 12 years to finally get to that point where we can just allow it. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. I give up. Just, and then boom. Bam. Next thing you know, and I don't know how many of you can relate to, you shifted, and all of a sudden now, you almost basically are living how you was picturing yourself wanting to be at one point in time. Now you are, and it's almost like you just kind of blended into this shit, and I didn't stop for a second to smell the roses and be like, wow. I'm 180 degrees in a year from a year ago. You need to give yourself credit. I'm sure you can draw up to mind right now, several, I'm sure, right now, in a second, of how many people Basically, this shit ain't changed. So you gotta give yourself credit too, and be patient with yourself. And be patient, because when you patient, that's showing also. That's another expression. That's another action. Even if it's an action by not doing something, like instead of stressing, you're being patient and you're just being. You're not doing anything, but you're refraining from maybe whatever. That's showing trust. That's showing trust. That's not saying you trust. That's showing trust. So I'm gonna leave y'all with that. That's all. I just want to say you're being watched.